there's a million brands out there that can just sell, sell, sell. But, the ones that really stick around are the ones that feel more authentic.
Hi, you've reached the Pink Hotline. I'm Mariam, and today I'm here with Christina, the CEO and founder of Kenz Woman. Hi, Christina, how are you?
Hi, thank you guys for having me.
It's lovely to have you. So can you share a little bit about your journey of how you started a business and what inspired you to become a woman entrepreneur in today's society?
Yeah, sure. So I would say one of the main reasons that got me to start Ken's is that I felt that women were being overlooked in our part of the world when it came to the category that I'm selling.
What are you selling?
So we sell intimate apparel products. We sell a range of products. So we really like to say that we are with women at every step of their life, whether it comes to when they get married, to so it's bridal products, to maternity, to post-maternity, to, God forbid, mastectomies, products. But we really are there for a woman at every stage of her life. And I truly felt that that was something that was missing in our region when it came to these products and selling these products. So we wanted to make a platform to bring those products and make them available for women in our region in the Middle East.
That's beautiful. And
Thanks.
why did that matter to you?
Well, I always wanted to do something that had an impact in a woman's life, actually. I didn't know what it was or how I would do that or what I would do, but I always felt like that was something that was calling me in a way. And I felt that it was very important for me to try to build something that made a woman's life easier, actually. And that's what we are doing with our products. Like, we are bringing these products and we are, making a woman feel more confident, more beautiful, just making her feel better in her own skin, actually.
And what is the backstory? What made you come up with it? Was there an inspiration? What was it?
Well, it's funny. I started a company with a friend of mine, a really good friend. Yeah. And we were sitting, it's a little funny, but we were sitting in the car one day. We were both working together at another company. We were project managers. And we really didn't like our boss.
Oh my God.
And we said to ourselves, why not just start something ourselves? And we said, why not sell bras and underwear online and, bring these products to the region and sell them here.
So it clicked in your head?
Yeah, it did. And then we also did a bit of research and we talked to other women and we found that they all kind of shared the same struggle, which is they couldn't find good quality products and they would always have to travel abroad and, go get it from different brands, in the States or in Europe. And so we said, why, it's such a hassle. Why not bring something here to the region that is, accessible for these women and makes it easier for them.
That is amazing. And what's the name? Why is it called Kenz Woman?
So Kenz means treasure in Arabic. And I always felt that if you find, good products in this category, it's like finding treasure because it fits right. It makes you feel great. It makes your day so much better. So for us, it's like little treasures.
Have you ever faced any challenges or stereotypes as a woman in business? And what do you do to navigate them?
We've faced lots of challenges. It's I think as you guys know as well, like as being business owners and building, you face different challenges daily, actually. Whether it's logistics nightmares, shipping nightmares, issues with the product itself, customers not being happy for whatever reason, these are things that I didn't have experience in because, to be honest, I didn't have a background in business.
I'm like you. It's like you learn on the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Yes. That has been our journey, to be honest. We've really just kind of had to figure it out as we go. like I said, we didn't have like I didn't have a strong background in finance or business or operations, but you hire people also around you that are more skilled than you actually in a lot of these things. And so I will really say like that has been one of the biggest successes for me personally is the people that I hired that joined Kenz in the end we've all become family and we're so close and we're building this all together. And, oftentimes when you're coming up with a solution to some of these challenges that we've faced, those solutions don't necessarily come from me. They come from everyone else.
Like a collective decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you start out learning everything, like the logistics and the finance situation, or did you straight away hire some people?
No, we had to do it ourselves. Okay. We had to kind of figure those things out. I mean, the tech side of things, we did hire a software developer to help us build the website, who has been incredible actually and like a lifesaver for us. But, figuring out the products and the sizing and the content itself, it was just, us, like me and my co-founder at the time. And then eventually I hired someone to help with our marketing. And she's the one that really grew our Instagram by just creating content that really resonated with people. Like, we created a lot of content in Arabic, actually. So none of this content actually existed before, like helping women find their right bra size. Like, we created the very first bra size calculator in Arabic. We really wanted to do things that just didn't exist at all.
How would you like promote to people here that would be different than how you promote them overseas?
That's such a good question. Here, you really have to do your marketing very differently than in the US or in Europe or Australia, for example. Like, you cannot copy paste the strategies that work in those markets here. And you can't copy paste them and expect them to have to the same results. And that is something that I think like the brands that do win here are the ones that take the time to understand who they're selling to and who they're building for. Because here it's just so different, and you really have to speak to the customer in a way that makes her feel like she can trust you. And so that's what it's been about for us since day one, actually.
And what makes you stand out from the rest of the business industry?
I would say something that maybe makes us stand out is that we are really promoting ourselves as a brand by women for women. I mean, we've heard that before, but I really think it makes a difference. And I think that it's what has had the strongest impact in our part of the world. I mean, the brand is called Kenz Woman. So, immediately, who we're targeting. I think that that's something that's special and makes us maybe more unique, because we're not just trying to really like scale fast. Obviously, growth is important, but for us, it's about building something that's long lasting.
So do you feel like as a woman in the industry, your creativity and problem solving would be different than a man's would inside like what you're building?
I mean, we've had some situations where I was pitching the business to some investors and they were mostly men. It almost felt like they didn't take it seriously. And they were like, well, I need to discuss this with my wife, or I need to, get my wife's input on this. And I was like, well, why? I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Like, that's what should matter, not, what someone else thinks or what your wife thinks. And so that, I've had situations like that, but the people that get it, whether it's a man or a woman, like they just get it. And, you don't need to explain things so much. Like, it just makes sense. So those are the people that have been the biggest supporters for us, or even mentors for me. Many of them are men, actually, that have helped me and supported me along the way.
And do you think your mindset, specifically for like the bra sizes and stuff, would resonate more with women when it comes from a woman?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that that's how they feel like, they know where they're shopping from. They know, this brand gets it, like they get me, they understand, my challenges, because I mean, women in the Middle East are like, just shaped differently than American women, for example. Like it's, we've always factored that in to the way that we do our marketing and we speak to our customers, is that, we are very like inclusive, and we are catering to you as an audience. So we understand your challenges.
And do you feel like Kenz Woman is very transparent on who they like, what they're trying to be?
So at the beginning, I wasn't sure how to approach that. I wasn't sure if it made sense to say, this, like I was the founder and I started the company, and I thought that I should be very separate from it, actually. But over time, I've found that, building your own personal brand can only help your own brand.
Exactly, yes.
And that is something that I've learned from so many other successful people as well. It can only really support your business because people get to understand the face behind it, and they understand why you're doing this, who you're doing it for, as opposed to just some brand that has no kind of identity. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's actually what has helped us and shifted our success in a way, because it's like, people know who Kenz is and what they stand for, and like who's behind it and the team. So
I agree, because I feel like more than ever, personal branding is important compared to not having a face of the brand. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many businesses, especially in Australia, they thrive most off of the owner themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah. But otherwise, I agree with what you're saying. What values and principles guide your business that reflects who you are as a person?
One of the main values that drives the business and drives me as a leader is being super honest with your team, honest with your community, not trying to take advantage. And that has always been something super important to me. There's a million brands out there that can just sell. But, the ones that really stick around are the ones that feel more authentic.
So how would you balance work life with your personal one and maintain that?
It's very difficult.
Is it?
It's extremely difficult. I mean, maybe other people are better at it, but I still haven't cracked the code on that.
I'm like that too, don't worry.
Like, it's not good and it's not healthy, and I don't advise other founders or business owners that are just starting to, it is very important to have some separation. And, for me, I'm like, it's not even that I'm doing work, but I'll be constantly checking,
yes.
On the weekend, at night, if I'm out doing whatever, whoever I'm with. And it's not good. Like, we do need to find a way to disconnect. We do need to find a way to just kind of regroup, and you have to clear your mind in order to make space for something new, or a new idea, or a new thought process to come.
What is your day in the life would look like now?
It would be probably like the first thing would be waking up and checking, sales, and checking, performance from the previous day is usually what I do first thing. And then speaking to my team, having our meetings. We are remote, so, all of our work is online. Yeah. So, it's just following up. And then it's like, okay, what challenge do we have today to solve? I would say that's something I want to work more on.
You ever get time to yourself though?
I try. Yeah. I try. I've been trying more lately, but there are some periods where I feel like guilty for doing that. And I'm sometimes a bit hard on myself. And I think that's kind of the idea that maybe some people have, that, as a founder or an entrepreneur, you have it all together and you have it all figured out, but you really don't.
You don't.
No one does. And I think I used to try to give that image in a way, but I think when I'm just really honest, any obstacle that I have with work or whatever, it's actually better, because the other person that you're speaking to, or whatever, your team, is feels like they can relate to you more.
Have you implemented something in your everyday life that gives you that sort of balance?
I mean, I try to stay healthy, and I try to, take my mind off and work out. Like, that is something that I have been doing more of in the past 6-7 months that I wasn't focusing so much on previously. And I think that time away from everything helps me to
Does it
regroup.
motivate you as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you have that little break, it gives you different perspective on things and brings more ideas and innovative thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say it's that for me, and cooking, actually.
Yes.
Like, cooking is really just meditative, and I can just kind of disconnect and then, think about things on my own. It's like a very peaceful process for me.
Have you ever had anyone that has inspired you or you looked up to in life or in the industry?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a lot of different people that I would say have inspired me, people that I don't know and people that I know. Entrepreneurs like Huda Katan, Mona Katan, obviously, like the big names. I've followed their journey since day one.
And it's such a beautiful journey too, what they did together.
Yes, and how they really just started from, not a huge backing, they just really built it up themselves. So they've always been a huge inspiration for us. And then there have been other founders that have really seen a lot of success, especially in our region. One is, his name is Fadi Khandour. He founded Aramex, which became like one of the largest shipping companies in our region. So, just
and
like
they ship worldwide too.
Yeah, and they ship worldwide. So like just these type of success stories that, I just find really motivating and inspiring, people that built from our region when everyone said it was impossible.
Exactly.
And why, for us, you could be in Australia, I could be in the States doing something there, but we chose to be here and we chose to build here. And I think that is more powerful than we give it credit for.
Yes, and there's definitely, I'd say, more opportunities here than across the world because it's a business hub.
Yeah.
And you meet people, you get to know people, they become your friends, and then they've got connections, other people got connections, and then you know everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel here there is that sense of like people wanting to help other people, and you don't see that in the States.
Right.
Like, it's very hard to have a community like that. No one supports each other like that, actually. And I think that is something that makes our part of the world stand out, actually, in comparison to the other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Because we are here for each other. We have each other's backs. And, if I can help you succeed, like, I would love to do that. And I would love to find a way to do that. And I think that that's something that's missing
in the Western world.
In the West, yeah.
People here, they don't ask for anything. They just, they want to help,
Exactly.
And I feel like
they offer.
Yeah. And I feel like in the Western world, they make it seem so different than what it actually is here. But the only people who know how the Middle East works and the belonging and the family that you have here is the people that actually live in the Middle East. On that, like, do you feel like your business is the standpoint of showing the women here that they can do things, they can go and be women, they can go open a business, they can do what they want even in the Middle East?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is like a big stigma on, or at least the stigma maybe comes from the West, but it's like women in our part of the world are just not doing these things. They're not entrepreneurs. They're just these typical, like, traditional roles. And it's not true, actually. Like, there's so many successful women here. And, maybe it's surprising for someone coming from like a Western country, but women are like really like badass here. And, they don't take no for an answer. And they, keep fighting, and they're very resilient and they're very tough. And like in my family too, I would say, like, my mom didn't start a business, but she's a very strong woman. And
do you look up to her and how you want to be in the future as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, she was like very family oriented, but will always say, like, speak your mind, like, like, stand up for what you believe in. And, that type of mindset has really helped me become, or still become, as we're always growing,
Always
but
growing,
like,
yeah.
but really become like who I am now, because I am very persistent and I don't like to give up. I hate giving up. And so, so for me, like, that mindset has definitely impacted how I run my business and just how I operate on a daily basis.
What was the most surprising lesson you've learned as a woman entrepreneur?
I don't know if there's like one specific thing, but it's just like really like being okay with like not having the answer. We just don't have the answer to everything. And there was a period where I thought that I needed to know how to do that and know how to solve everything, but you just can't. And you really, like, we need to just be easier on ourselves.
What do you think makes a good CEO in your perspective? It could be like men and women, but what do you feel like makes a great CEO?
I don't know if I said this earlier, but you really have to be relatable, and you cannot like be, I mean, of course there are people that are, very much in their own world, in their own space, that are successful. But I think the ones that stand out and the ones that are long lasting are the ones that, you can just speak to and just have a normal conversation with and not feel like, oh, that person is like, this big person or this big name, and like, or to not have that view of yourself, to not feel like you are
like everyone else is inferior. And
exactly,
you're at the top.
like you're entitled or you have this superiority, like, I think that those are the people that really don't succeed in the end. If you carry yourself as very approachable and very down to earth, you'll always have people that want to work with you, and you want to like just feel comfortable to be able to talk to you about any challenge. Because I always say being a CEO is almost like being a therapist, because sometimes like a lot of people will come to you and tell you their problems, and you have to, really sit and hear it out and listen to them. And whether you have, the advice to give or not, you just have to show that you are there for them.
What you said is kind of giving like mother vibes, because it's like the people there, they want to come for advice, and mums always give the best advice, right?
Yes.
And they take it into consideration, and then they problem solve with each other.
Yeah.
What's your vision for your business, and how do you see it impacting women and communities in the future?
My big vision is, we started here. We started in the Middle East, like, in the Gulf countries are our main markets. But my big vision is that we continue growing here in the region and then scaling globally with its roots here. And I think that that's something very beautiful. And I think that that type of way of running a business with its roots here is like something that we should celebrate more.
Mm-hmm. And you would always link it back to here.
Definitely. And then
why do you think that's important though?
I mean, I think that's important because it gives the brand its identity, and it shows that at its core we are building for women, obviously, but speaking to women on a very one-on-one personal basis, which a lot of brands do not do. It's like very like mass, and you just feel like it's this mass production and not relatable at all. And so for me, I always want to be able to build Kenz Woman as something that is just a brand that really resonates with the consumer at the end of the day.
Yeah. And what are you hoping to give women besides the product itself? But what are you hoping to give women?
An experience. It's not just about like the product, but it's about the community, which was always super important to me from day one. It's that building this community. There are some successful brands that have been able to do that, I would say, in the West. But like doing it here, I think just hits so different because you feel like you are creating a community. and you are having an impact in a woman's life and
you're making a difference.
Making a difference and making her feel better and more beautiful and making her day easier. Like that is the most important thing for us.
So how do you nurture your personal growth while maintaining a business that you have to keep running for?
It's difficult. And I think that as I'm getting older, I'm trying to like prioritize that by taking time for myself and doing the things that are important to me that are separate from business. The work is always there and you will always find work to do.
Somehow it's always there.
Yeah, it is. But yourself and prioritizing yourself is like, something that shouldn't come second. It should be hand in hand, actually. And, you should be able to like do these things that are nurturing for yourself because then you show up better, actually, for everyone else.
How do you see yourself in 10 years?
I would love to just kind of support other entrepreneurs, other women entrepreneurs that are just starting off, that don't have, like me, like didn't have like a background in business or didn't have like an MBA like me, like, and just let them know that it's possible. And, it just takes some grit and it takes not giving up on yourself and believing in yourself. I would love to kind of be mentoring as well down the line if it reaches that point.
I feel like you're kind of already mentoring. So you already know how to step into that kind of power.
That would be really cool if I could just even like make any little impact in another woman entrepreneur's life. That would be amazing, actually.
Well, you're doing it right now. So.
Oh, thank you.
So you said before that you currently live in Spain. What made you want to live there? Instead of in the States or right here in the Middle East?
So I mean, I kind of travel back and forth and I've been bouncing around. Like I was spending a lot of time in Saudi because that's our main market. And then I was thinking of living in Dubai just to continue like helping to grow the business and to build the network and to grow my connections. And Spain was just more temporary because I felt like it was in between the US, where most of my family are right now, and the Middle East. But I think that Dubai is actually in the works.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
It is such a great opportunity to live here. Not a lot of people have the mindset to pick themselves up and leave their country where they come from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a scary journey that people go through. And I think it makes someone stronger by doing something they're not prepared for, But yeah, how do you manage your business being remote?
It's challenging, but we were remote for a really long time, actually, because, I started the company in Palestine and half of the team are still there. But because of the political situation, it was very difficult for us to always meet in person. So I said a long time ago, let's just try to have our meetings online. I mean, there's nothing like meeting in person.
Yeah.
It really does make a difference. But we've managed all of this time to really be a strong remote team. Like there's people in Palestine, Jordan, Saudi, UAE, Egypt, Canada, actually. So
okay, so you got a little bit of everybody. And from the beginning of starting Kenz Woman, did you ever think you would ever be remote, or did you ever think you'd grow a team this big?
I didn't know what, I really wasn't thinking so far into the future because I didn't know that we would even survive. I didn't know the business would still go on. I think we will need to have something in person, like an office.
Do you have any family members that root on for you? Do you have anyone that supports everything that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty lucky. My family has been very supportive. And before I started my business, I was doing lots of other things. I was an assistant producer on a documentary film. Okay. And I just did, I tried so many different things and I wanted to do that. And my parents were always like, kind of used to the crazy ideas that I had. And my father, God rest his soul, but he is the one that helped me come up with the name Kenz, actually.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It has like a nice memory to it.
Yes. So my family were like very supportive, but you just have to have the right support unit behind you. It makes all the difference.
I feel like a lot of people that aren't in like the business industry or don't have that mindset, they'll always look at as a person, especially someone who's running a business, and they'll be like, oh, they're so lucky, like everything comes to them, but they don't see the hardships that people go through to get where they got. Do you feel like that's sort of how you are perceived?
Yeah. And I think I even made myself be perceived like that, actually, because, like when I said, when I was first starting, there was this kind of fear that I had on myself where I like didn't want to show I was making any mistake. And I didn't want to give that impression, like I always wanted to show that I had it all together. But I think the reality is when you show that you don't know or you don't have all the answers, people are like, oh, wow, like, that's
She's human.
So I've really like grown to understand that it's more important to show that that process. It's not a linear journey. It's not just you're growing in one direction. Like there's so many ups and downs, and we're still figuring things out. But you just keep showing up. That's the most important thing.
Yes, most important thing. Was there ever a time in the span of your business where you felt like things weren't going in the right direction, or you felt like giving up, and what pushed you to continue?
Yes. yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like everyone goes through that.
It's been more than one moment. I mean, I questioned myself a lot. I questioned if this is the right thing, if I should just stop, if I should just quit, if I should just, get a job and, just like kind of like 9-to-5 type of situation.
Like for somebody else, make your life easier, but it's harder.
It is harder.
Yeah.
It is. And it's very like, I know it's hard for me to switch off completely. But this is also something that I feel very driven by and motivated by. And there have been periods where I did feel like giving up. But I honestly would say like my team, like they have been really incredible in pushing me to like keep going. The community that we've built, obviously, has been like the biggest inspiration for continuing, even if you don't know, what the future holds.
Okay, so you said that your business is based around femininity and womanhood. How does that reflect you in your daily life around your siblings, your mom, the girlfriends that you have?
So yeah, I mean, it's even in our Instagram bio, but it's a brand by women for women. And that has always been important to me, like just building for women, especially like Arab women are very special and very, just the way that we do our marketing and everything that's catered to the Arab woman, we really want to make her feel seen and heard. Like I've always said, brands in the West don't do that and they miss the mark on that. My team is mostly women, actually. Over 95% women. Okay. So we are all women. Honestly, love working with women.
How do you say that the relationship started and grew with the team that you built?
It was originally like 4 women. That it was me and my co-founder, and then I hired two other women who handled the marketing and the customer service. And they it was like the 4 of us, like taking on the world, basically. Like we just felt like we were invincible and, we were like strong, independent women that were taking on this like very male dominated industry. You would be surprised that there's a lot of men that, run these companies and.
Yes. I know Victoria's Secret is run by men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how can you actually understand what a woman needs and what she's feeling and what she's going through at different stages of her life. So I always felt like that was so wrong and was also one of the motivating factors to starting Kenz Woman. And I always told myself I wanted to like hire other strong women that were like strong and independent, but also like, cared about their femininity and cared about, being a woman in today's society, which almost looks down on that sometimes.
And how do you think, not in your vision, but how do you think other people perceive women in today's society, and what can people do to change specific stereotypes?
There's this idea that women have to kind of do it all. And, like you have to like be the mother, and you have to be, if you're married or whatever, you have to be, this partner, and you have to, and if you run a business, you have to like be there for your team. So you're really you're wearing many hats.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to juggle that. I mean, I'm not a mother and I'm not married, but from what I see, the women that are around me, and it's really not easy. And I don't think that women are given enough credit for all of that.
So last question.
Okay, I'm nervous.
What is one piece of advice you'd give to women who want to start their own business?
I would say, there's this fear of starting. And I would say to really try really hard to let go of that fear, even though that fear may be there, regardless of what you're doing, what you're building, just try. Just
you'll
try.
Never know
because then you'll regret
happen.
it 10, 15 years down the line that there was this idea that you had that you didn't pursue. And whether it works or it doesn't work, at least you know that you did try. Whether it works or it doesn't work, just go for it. Like take that risk.
Mm-hmm. I think risks, especially in business, is the only way to move forward with things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, at least you tried.
Yes. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, actually. I would love to know what you are, like, what's the vision for Nails for a Night, and where you guys see it going, like, down the line?
So Nail for a Night has been a constant with us for about 4 years now, and we've recently shifted our perspective on it towards for women by women. And I think rooting it in sisterhood and femininity is what we want to push for the future, because there's a lot of people that don't have that connection towards their own womanhood, right? And we want them to feel like we are their sisters, and we are giving them advice, and not just through our nails to look confident, but through themselves internally. And so I feel like bringing our business here to the Middle East is where our expansion will begin. I do see us becoming global.
Amazing.
But yeah, I just want people to feel confident in their own skin, whether it's for a night out or at home by themselves,
I think that's something that we have in common, actually, because it's like we, care very much about helping women feel that confidence, regardless of what the product is.
Exactly.
And making it just feel like, we're on the same page.
Well, Christina, thank you so much for joining me today. It was lovely having you on the Pink Hotline.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning into the Pink Hotline, and we'll see you in the next episode.